I'll get to the bite in a second from Matt LaFleur, but there is talk that the Green Bay Packers would like Jordan Love to be more vocal. And I was thinking about that this morning, is that if you break quarterbacks, let's just break them into two groups: superstars and then really, really good quarterback. And these are guys that every GM in the league would pay big money. Superstars or really, really, really good quarterbacks. I think tier one superstars, there's 5. Patrick, Josh Allen, Lamar, Joe Burrow, and Matthew Stafford. Those guys can win, and rosters can have holes in it. Then I think tier 2, really, really good quarterbacks: Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Jaden Daniels. I thought Jordan Love was going to move into tier 1 this year, and he didn't. Still a bit reckless. But there's only 11 quarterbacks on this list. That means there's only 11 teams of the 32, a third, that have one of these dudes. And both can win Super Bowls, both tiers. Now, tier 2 going to need more help. Maybe a better coach, maybe a deeper roster, maybe the perfect OC. Those are my guys. Now, there's guys like Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield. There's some ifs. If he has McCaffrey, if he has protection, if the weather's good, if he has a lead. Those guys are very good, but they're closer to if, in my opinion. There's if. I think Baker at $33 million is about right. Sam the same. And I'm not paying Purdy mid-4s or up. I'm just not. I think they're more if. So the truth is, Matt LaFleur, in my opinion, I thought he was going to get to tier 1. He didn't. He's still solidly in tier 2. But I have said about Jordan Love, he could fall to tier 3. He's very fortunate. Between Matt LaFleur and the patience of Green Bay and their expertise at quarterback, he will remain a 2 with an opportunity to get to tier 1 over the next 5 years. And that is a great place to be. Now, in terms of being more verbal and vocal, Matt LaFleur, his great head coach, addressed that.
They all respect him, but I think he can, when things aren't quite right, I think he can voice that as well. When guys aren't quite doing what they're supposed to be doing. And he's one of the guys I kind of talk to about that, because I just think it means more when it comes from your quarterback than it does from me or one of our other coaches.
Yeah, let's talk about this, because I don't know how true that is. I identify with that. I identify with this idea of, trying to be that vocal leader. This will shock all of you, but I tend to be a very vocal person who talks a lot. So I get that. Is like that. And that's not the problem in the Green Bay Packers. It's just not. That's not an issue that's holding Jordan Love back or holding the Green Bay Packers team as a whole back. Again, could things be better? Would you want that? Of course. I think when you can have the vocal leader and groundedness of your quarterback, like that's awesome. Like only good things can happen from that. But you're not like, what's wrong with the Packers? Jordan Love needs to be more vocal. It's like, that's why they would have beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, that's why they would have beaten the Bears. That's why they would have beaten the Lions, the Vikings. Like, if Jordan Love is more vocal, that's the problem. That's the issue. It's obviously not the issue. That's not the problem. You don't watch the Packers throughout this season and say, Jordan Love's not vocal enough. That's the problem. No, that doesn't make any sense. You know who's not really vocal? Steph Curry. Kevin Durant. And works really well for them. You know who's really vocal? Joel Embiid. You know who doesn't win? Joel Embiid. So it's not always about that. Patrick Mahomes isn't known to be vocal. He's gotten a little bit more vocal and assertive as the years have gone on. But he's not known to being that big vocal rally leader type quarterback. That's not him. It's not Lamar Jackson. I mean, that's not his game. It's not Jalen Hurts. It's definitely not Jalen Hurts. So I'm not so sure about that. That's trying to muddy the waters right now. And I don't know how this question was asked. Like if they just asked him directly, like, "Hey, where would you like to see Jordan Love, evolve and stuff?" Like, if it was like more of like a specific question. And maybe that was actually Matt LaFleur's way of actually trying to sidestep any of the other developmental aspects of his game. Right? If he's like, "Oh, I want him to work on his footwork, or I want him to, have better eyes down the field," what, and I'm just making stuff up. And like maybe like him by just saying a vocal leader, that's a kind of like an easier, more neutral thing to say to kind of like save. Because if Matt LaFleur said, "Oh, he's actually really not good at this X and this O," people are gonna be like, "He's not good at this X and this O." Oh my God, Matt LaFleur, I can't believe he said that. Again, maybe it's worse. So maybe actually what Matt LaFleur is saying is actually kind of like smart. I don't know. I don't know the context of how this necessarily all unfolded. Green Bay Packers fans who maybe do, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Please do. But I'll just, continue to tackle this head on in terms of this vocal leader. Again, I think being a vocal leader can certainly help you, but in no way, just even the last 2 years, did they not beat the 49ers in the playoffs because Jordan Love wasn't vocal enough? You know what I'm saying? It's just not. It's just not. You're not like Patrick Mahomes is so special of a quarterback and he has all these rings because he's a vocal leader. It's like, huh? That's why? Really? And Patrick Mahomes has more Super Bowls than Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow because he's just more vocal than them? Like, I guess? Like, huh? So it's just these types of conversations to me are always inflated. And it just muddies the waters more than it need be. So like I don't have a strong desire to expand this and dig into this aspect any more than it needs to be. Again, I'll just very quickly and very clearly say yes. In a perfect world, I'd love to see him evolve as a vocal leader, something that I identify with and I can appreciate, but I can also firmly stand that the lack of the Packers' success in the last 2 years or achieving what they ultimately would like to achieve is not because he's not vocal enough, and that is not in any way stopping them from ultimately achieving, winning the division, winning the Super Bowl, winning MVPs, etc. So it's just like, then what are we talking about? Like we're having the wrong conversation about the Green Bay Packers then. And that's why I don't like some of these things, because it's like, well, no, we actually need to talk about like how can we get this team better? How can we get Jordan Love better? And again, maybe Matt LaFleur just said that because he's like, yeah, you guys go focus on that. I'm not going to throw you actual like legit bones to pounce on. Like you go just worry about him being a vocal leader while I'm going to actually worry about like the real stuff that I need to work on him to develop. I'm just not going to let you guys know that because you guys are a bunch of wolves and you're going to, be you. But I don't know. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Jordan Love needing to evolve as a vocal leader with the Green Bay Packers and how that's, just hurting his development, I suppose, or hurting the Packers' ability to achieve the goal, the dream, their destiny? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.